Good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut here with Mike Kelly. We're Real Estate Jerky Daily.
And today's Monday.
Yes, it is. All day.
The 30th?
31st. Because tomorrow is the first.
God.
Tomorrow is one of those days people do stupid jokes and mess with people.
Yeah, I always wait till the 2nd. And then they go, well, it's not April Fool's anymore. Yeah, but I got you.
Yeah. All right, let's get going. We got a busy day.
Yeah,
today.
you got a busy day. I got a busy day. Let's go.
I'm not saying you didn't have a busy day. Did you do anything over the weekend? Any open houses? Any contracts?
No. I've got this modular home that you would.
Is it a modular home or a manufactured?
It's
home?
A manufactured home.
And don't say the word modular.
It's a manufactured home in a park, and it's a 55 and older park, and doing it as a favor for neighbors across the street. And wow, even though we're 55,000 under everybody else, there seems to be very little interest in a adult park.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it 55 and older?
Yeah, 55 and older. So all the young people who have kids and are not 55 are very, very interested in purchasing.
They just have to have somebody in there that's 55 or older on the loan.
And darn it, the ones that are interested just can't find those people that want to go on the loan with them.
Yeah, well, I understand.
And then it's hard to get a loan for a manufactured home that's not on a foundation.
It's not hard. It's just there's limited places that do it, and the rates are going to be anywhere from 10 to 12%,
and a lot of money down is what I'm finding out.
Well, yeah, I've seen some with $3,000 down.
Really?
What's the purchase price?
120.
Yeah, no, they're cheaper than I can send you remember what's his name that we had on the radio show. Him and his wife do the manufactured homes out of San Jose.
Yep.
Todd Sue and his wife. She does the financing for those types of things.
Cool. Yeah. Send his number.
You have his number, unless you don't.
No,
have
I do somewhere, but send it so I don't have to look for it forever.
I'll make you look for it, so maybe I'll keep it next time. A lot of news today.
Yeah, what's going on?
One of the biggest things is Rocket Companies is buying Mr. Cooper. They put a bid in for $9.4 billion acquisition. If they get this, they will have 1 out of every 6 loans out there.
Is that a monopoly? No. But
no, but it's pretty close.
Mr. Cooper has both my mortgages.
Yeah, well, they take a lot of them and then they mess them up.
Oh, they do.
And I don't mean that to get sued. It's just impounded count always for some reason. It just increases a lot of I get a lot of refinances out of it. So please take up more of them.
Yeah, and if you do get a impound account overage check, throw it in the bank. Don't spend it because they're going to come back and say, "Oh, we screwed up."
Yeah, we were supposed to have that. All right, so mortgage-backed securities were up 7 basis points. The 10-year sitting at 4.22. There's a lot of talk about the reason it's moving down and why the Nasdaq's down 260 some points and the Dow's down. I don't know how much, probably 400. It's all about the tariff stuff and the noise about that. Well, we'll get through all this.
I know we will
eventually. News this week. This is jobs week. Jobs.
Okay.
Aye. On Tuesday, we have JOLTS report, ISM
favorite.
Manufacturing. Wednesday, ADP employment report, mortgage applications. Thursday, initial jobless claims, ISM services report. That's not the manufacturing, that's just services. And then Friday is the one that we're always looking for, the Bureau of Land Statistics jobs report, the BLS. That was last year's name. I'm hoping it changes this year. Yeah, hopefully it changes this year.
They only missed it by a million or
so. We're going to see some job numbers, and maybe if they come in a little softer, we'll actually get that lawn bond to go down further.
Yeah.
And we'll keep going down where we want it to go. Right now, they're stating that they're probably seeing the Fed will end up having to, cut rates shortly.
Is
that going to help us? No. So like I said, the biggest story of the day is they're saying it's shaking up the mortgage world with Rocket Companies. That could really,
I don't know how that's shaking up the mortgage
because they're going to have control over 1 out of every 6 mortgages.
Okay,
that's huge. That means if you want to refinance, you do something. They're what can be considered what they own. They have the notes, so it's really not considered that. But if you run credit, they hound you. And hound you so that you and that kind of stuff. And so that's why the whole trigger leads thing needs to be passed so that can't happen. So you can do whatever you want.
Right.
There's 2 different bills. One is trigger leads for everybody can't have them, and then there's trigger leads for everybody who doesn't have your mortgage. Yeah.
So if they have your mortgage, i.e. being Rocket at 1 out of 6, they can hound you.
Yes, exactly. They'll find out no matter what happens. They put that on there.
Right. Wonderful.
Yeah, they're also talking about the house. Did I get an inventory yet? No, there we go. Inventory. That's what I need. That's our Mondays.
National inventory.
Yeah, we're up 7,403.
So are we in the sevens yet?
We went from 668,155 to 675,558. Compare this to last year, we went from 512,759 to 517,355. So that was about 5,000. This year we're 7,000, but we keep moving. All-time low was in 2022 for this week, which was only 240,497.
Well, and still, you say that number.
Yeah, I don't remember that number because we didn't talk about it back then.
We didn't really talk about it back then. And 22 was a delicious year for me. I was so busy.
Yeah, I was busy with refinances and a bunch of purchases, but more refinances than anything else until about 6 months in, until about October. Then it was like,
yeah.
Exactly, crickets. The peak for 2024 was 739,440. I'm sorry, 434. That's just peak for the year,
right?
Not this week,
right?
And I was wrong on the last one. That was just the lowest of 2022 of all the year.
Right.
If you go back to 2015 for the same week, we have 985,411. So what does that mean? We still have room to move on this.
Improve.
And one of the reasons they're talking about this is they're wondering if could spring bring bargains on homes.
Easy for you to say.
No, it's a Monday.
It's those R's.
The short answer is maybe, which means what my wife used to say to my kids: "Hey, can we go here?" Maybe, which is a no.
Yeah.
So the short answer is no.
Possibly not.
Yeah, well, maybe means no. I don't care what they say. Look up maybe. It says talk to Marcia. It means no.
You can always go out and look for those coming soon signs, those agents who care more about themselves than they do about their seller. And sometimes you can get deals that way because the agent believes, oh, look how fast I sold this property, but I left 25% on the table. Oh, well. And you get a bargain that way.
They looked at affordability this year, and they're actually saying it's gotten worse this year.
Affordability?
Yeah. So overall, home prices are continuing to outpace wage growth. That's just how it happens right now. And with higher mortgage rates, eventually we'll get back down there, but we'll never get back down to where we were in 2021 unless all of our debt's gone.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Well, and how do you stop inflation on home prices with such little inventory?
We won't. And
with such high demand.
Burnings, and the burnings of everything. And then delinquency rates are very low. Even though everybody's talking about foreclosures are up and bankruptcy are up, we're nowhere close to pre-pandemic levels.
Where are foreclosures up?
Nowhere around here.
Not in California, right?
Because you can turn around and just sell it so easily. Unless it's a year ago.
Unless it's a modular home.
A modular home can sell very well.
No, I'm teasing.
See, here's the problem with your agents. Get your lingo down.
That's why I was teasing.
Whatever. Okay. Modular is a stick-built house built in a factory. Manufacture it as a mobile home. Just tie those together, then you'll understand. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I had to clear that.
That's a frog.
I had a frog. Morning. It was like talking morning.
So,
anything else did I have? 2025 may be the year of the negotiator, is what they're saying. Just negotiating prices and everything else. I still think it's a great time to buy it because there's one thing you're not going to be able to do is get these prices again.
Right. And with decreased mortgage rates, should that happen fairly soon, you're going to have increased competition. Again, I know I sound like a broken record. Right now, it is, let's say it's the month of the negotiator. You can negotiate a fairly good deal, what I call a win-win situation for the buyer. Go out there, look, purchase, lower pricing you're going to have later on in the year. You can refinance later, as we always say, and you might even get some repairs done or, maybe a credit towards your closing costs. But when you're competing against 45 other offers, you're not going to get any of that stuff again.
No, and eventually we'll get back there. We don't know when this is going to happen.
No.
But one day we'll say, we told you so.
We've actually
because we'll be right at one day.
Yeah, we've actually said that once before. So
no, I'm just saying we're getting there. It's just we got to get through all this tariff stuff, all this other stuff. They did sell 1,000 of those $5 million get in front of the line and come here to America.
Oh, green card,
cards,
gold cards?
Yeah, the gold cards.
Okay.
That's $5 billion just slap against the debt. So they are working to pay that down.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, but California Best Title Company has agreed to pay $150,000 to the California Department of Insurance because 2 of their marketing representatives gave incentives to real estate agents to steer business to the company.
Oh,
I thought that was illegal.
That's a RESPA violation.
It is illegal.
God, nobody does that here.
I can't
in the
believe
Central Valley.
I'm like, are they all brand new people? Here's what happened.
I wonder.
The market changes. We get rid of the people who know what they're doing, and you have all these new people come in on the title and the real estate side, and they're like, hey, they don't remember what happened. It's all those things you see hacks on TikTok. Hey, this is a housing hack. You mean you're renting out a room? That's not a housing hack. That's just renting out a room. There's other hacks they talk about. You could do this. You just say that you're primary resident and you're not primary resident. That's illegal. That's called mortgage fraud. A hack equals fraud. How about that? There we go.
Yeah.
Unless it's just renting a room out, then it's not a hack.
It's not fraud. You can rent out the basement, even if you don't have one. You just
people ask, can you rent out a room in your house if you buy? Yes, you can do whatever you want. You just have to live there full time.
Yeah,
period.
You're still living it. Owner occupied.
I just had some people reach out to me that it's like 3 people on an application. I'm like, oh man. Well, come to find out, the one was somebody I took care of a long time ago, mom.
Okay.
Son or daughter and then eventually son-in-law.
Okay.
Well, daughter's an attorney.
Okay.
Son's a doctor. Or the other way, whatever.
And mom's co-signing or co-borrowing?
Just because, but I'm like going, oh, this is a peninsula or whatever. This is a big one. It's one of those you put off because you got so much to do and you're putting them all together. Okay, well, I got to recreate this app and redo all this. And you sit there and you get it done. And you're like,
oh, this is going to be nice.
Yeah, this will be one of those ones that I can get done.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I have for today.
That's all I have for today, too.
Why are you laughing?
I just love hearing George in the background.
Oh, is he snoring?
He is relaxed.
You guys can't hear. We have my American Bully in the studio.
Yeah, he's such a good
all
dog.
The time.
He's such a good dog. A great rescue. What a wonderful story that was.
Yes, it is. All right, everybody, make it a great day.
Have a fantastic
day. And we will be back tomorrow with some real news.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Can't wait till Wednesday.